Hey YouTube family, hope you guys are having a great day. I'm coming to you with a little impromptu video based on a question that one of my Instagram followers sent to me just a little bit ago. The question was from the amazing Laura. You should see her pop up right over here. Definitely go and follow her on Instagram. She has amazing watercolor illustrations and doodles. It's really cool. Definitely go check her out. Now, the question that she had for me was, how do you stay positive and on top of your career when you encounter hard times? You seem like such a push forward person. Well, let me just tell you this, and this goes to Laura, this goes to everybody. There are many, many times where, you know, things definitely just like they hit me hard, or I'll have bad things happen, failures happen, maybe a project won't come through. And the one thing that I always try and remember is you always have to look on the bright side of life. Just like that old Monty Python's Life of Brian song, always look on the bright side of life. Do-do, 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 do-do. You always have to just keep like looking on the bright side of things. For instance, if let's say a project falls through and it doesn't happen and I was really looking forward to it, I always look at it this way. That just means I can spend more time either focusing on my YouTube channel, on personal projects, or it just means that I have time for maybe some other project that's going to come out that's going to be bigger. So whenever stuff like that happens, I try not to think about it too much. When personal life stuff hits, which personal life can probably be the biggest detriment for any creative because it hits harder than career stuff. For instance, for me last year, my mom got really sick. And so she had to have emergency surgery. She was out of work for about 2 months. For those of you who don't know, my mom lives with me. She's actually going to be living with me until the summer. She's moving back to Georgia to live closer to family. But I basically was the sole breadwinner in our household for almost 2 months, maybe more. And so that put a lot of strain on me. Now, that being said, the strain of like things like that, where let's say, you know, maybe your spouse loses their job and then you're the sole breadwinner, that actually just opens up bigger opportunities for you. It gives you that extra push that you need that sometimes you don't have to really get a lot more done, find more freelance work, find more connections, more clients. I know that you're like, well, Rocky, how do I find, you know, more clients? By, you know, really hustling, by really going out there, you know, asking your connections, hey, do you need some work done or anything? Or reaching out to your friends like, hey guys, you know, I'm offering 5-10% finder's fee if you guys can find me projects. But by really like taking those like really bad moments, you know, those moments where you're wanting to say, woe is me, you're wanting to just like cry into a pillow, scream into a pillow, taking those and using those as fire to push you forward and to get you past like any possible rut that you could be in. Now, I faced many ruts. You guys always see me, you know, happy and smiling. Part of that is that's my brand. I am a very happy person. I'm a very caring person. I always have like a smile on my face. I always have this drive and this passion, especially when it comes to drawing and illustration. And you guys always get a chance to see that. What you guys don't see is you don't see those dark moments where, yeah, there's plenty of times where I get, you know, a little down and out. I get, you know, bummed. I get that failure syndrome where it's like, you know, am I really what everyone sees me? Like, am I really this good? Or I'll have times where I'm like, oh my God, am I going to have a project come in so I can make it through this month? So there's always those moments where I have those thoughts that creep into the back of my head. But the thing that I don't do is I don't let them stay and linger. Instead, what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll start like reading a book or something. Like right now, I'm reading Gary Vaynerchuk's Crush It. You can find a link down in the show notes. Definitely check this out. Amazing book. But I'll read stuff like that. I'll read these things, or I'll listen to audiobooks, I'll listen to podcasts, and I'll let them really help drive me and push me and give me that boost of confidence that I need, that I might not have. Now, Another thing that tends to be a problem with a lot of us is burnout. How do I stay positive when it's so easy for me to get burnt out? And the easiest way that I go about doing this, how I prevent burnout and how I prevent things like that. Sorry, my Apple Watch dinged. Is I will take myself out of the creative situation, out from behind or in front of my computer screen or my iPad, and I'll go and do something else. I'll go and read. I'll go to the movies and watch a movie or something like that, or I'll go and binge watch a TV show. I'll write a blog post or something like that. And what that does is it takes my mind out of the problem that I'm trying to solve, out of the creative problem that I'm trying to solve, and it lets it refresh. Sometimes I'll step away from a project for it could be like a couple hours or it could be a day, just so that I can refresh my mindset and I don't have to worry so much about burnout creeping in. And then when I do have burnout, I do the exact same thing. I'll take like a good amount of time where I'm like, okay, I'm going to relax a little bit. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to record YouTube videos instead of illustrating, or I'm going to read a couple of books, or I'm going to listen to a couple of audiobooks or podcasts. And by doing that for a certain amount of time, it sets me up to where I completely refresh. I get like this feeling of being on vacation or something like that. But that also has negative connotations in that it might cause me not to want to continue doing something, or it might want me to, stay in that vacation mindset where I don't want to work. And so I have to make sure that, I get back into that mindset before I jump in, where I'm like reading books, or I'm listening to audiobooks, or I'm going through and writing emails, or I'm doing something that's slightly business oriented, just to kind of transition myself in, from this vacation to business to illustrating. And it really tends to help me out. I've had many times where I'll get into these really bad creative ruts after a vacation, and it's because I don't ease myself into it, or I don't prepare for a certain amount of time that I'm not going to be working. Hopefully that really answers your question, Laura. Hopefully you guys found bits of nuggets of wisdom in there and everything. And if you guys have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to comment down below in the show notes. Or if you follow me on Instagram, send me a direct message on Instagram. I always respond to my direct messages for the most part, and I always write down every question that everybody asks me. For instance, here's just like a bunch of questions that people asked me this week during my Ask Me Anything AMA session that I posted. So by all means, ask me any questions that you might have. And as always, remember to like and subscribe to this channel. Sorry. And always remember, and this goes back to what we were just talking about, be passionate, be positive, and be creative, everybody.